Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be your virtual factory tour guide today. We are going to dive into the fascinating industrial manufacturing of something so ubiquitous, so essential, yet so incredibly overlooked, the helical spring. I mean, if you look around you right now, you're probably surrounded by dozens of them without even realizing it. But how do they actually get made with such extreme precision? Let's find out. It really begs the question, doesn't it? How does a stiff, totally unyielding piece of metal wire suddenly transform into a perfectly bouncy, resilient spring that can absorb massive amounts of force and just bounce right back? It's an incredible physical transformation. Really, it's an almost magical feat of engineering and manufacturing that we're about to witness step by step. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the mighty helical spring, then enter the CNC machine, break down the anatomy of the coiler, and finally, look at selecting the perfect material. All right, let's jump right into part one, the mighty helical spring. At its core, a helical spring is quite literally just spring wire meticulously coiled into a spiral shape. But don't let that simplicity fool you. Its purpose is absolutely vital. Think of it as a mechanical battery. It absorbs and stores load. It acts as a heavy-duty shock absorber, reducing intense, damaging vibrations. And crucially, it returns mechanical components to their original resting position. Without this simple spiral shape, countless machines, vehicles, and everyday devices literally just wouldn't work. And as you'd probably guess, this isn't exactly a one-size-fits-all situation. You've got compression springs that push back when they're squeezed, extension or tension springs that pull back when you stretch them out, and torsion springs that work entirely through twisting forces. Add in the more complex conical and barrel shapes, and you have a sheer variety that perfectly sets the stage for the incredibly versatile machine required to make them all. Which brings us to Section 2. Enter the CNC machine. Back in the old days of production, factories had to rely on these purely physical, mechanical cam-type spring coilers, and those required an intense amount of manual adjustment. But modern production, it relies almost entirely on the CNC spring coiling machine. Why the switch? Well, the CNC machine provides this massive, game-changing leap in dimensional accuracy and repeatability. It means that spring number 1 and spring number 10,000 are going to be completely identical, right down to the micrometer. It's honestly mind-blowing when you sit back and consider the sheer number of control parameters at play here. The CNC machine is perfectly controlling the outside and inside diameter simultaneously. It's actively monitoring the mean coil diameter and the wire diameter. It dictates the free length of the entire spring, the pitch between each of the individual coils, the exact number of coils, and the overall spring index. It is juggling all of these variables flawlessly, in real time, executing ultimate precision hundreds of times a minute. Okay, let's break down the hardware itself in Section 3, Anatomy of the Coiler. Let's actually follow the wire's physical journey. Step 1, the raw material starts at the wire payoff, also known as the decoiler, which continuously feeds this massively heavy coil of wire into the system. Step 2, it passes through a wire straightening unit. Now this is absolutely vital because it takes out any unwanted curvature the wire might have picked up just from sitting on a spool for so long. Step 3, the wire feed rollers grab hold, pushing that metal forward at a heavily controlled speed. And Step 4, the wire guide acts as the ultimate director, keeping the wire locked into the exact right position and trajectory as it heads toward the main event. Now, let's slow down for just a second because I want you to appreciate these two specific parts. I like to call them the artists, because this is where the magic actually happens. The coiling tool physically forces and bends that rigid wire to the exact determined diameter, making it form that iconic helix shape. And right alongside it is the pitch tool. Its job is to precisely control the empty space, the exact distance between every single coil. So one forms the shape, the other forms the spacing. They are literally sculpting solid metal in a fraction of a second. But artists need a solid support system, right? So backing them up are the brain and the brawn. The CNC controller is the brain, managing all those major machine parameters we talked about earlier. The servo motor is the brawn, accurately powering the feed, the pitch, and all of the tooling movements. And we definitely can't forget the lubrication system. With metal grinding on metal at those incredibly high speeds, this system is absolutely essential to reduce dangerous heat and friction between the tools and the wire. It protects the entire operation from tearing itself apart. And finally, we hit the finish line of our rapid-fire anatomy sequence. Once the exact required length and number of coils are met, The cutoff tool snaps into action, cleanly slicing right through that tough wire. The cutting system ensures the finished spring is fully and safely separated from the continuous spool. And then the spring just drops gracefully into the collection tray, ready to be boxed up, shipped out, and installed into whatever machine out there needs it. Now, on to our final piece of the puzzle, Section 4, selecting the perfect material. Because let's be real, you can't just grab any random piece of metal and shove it into a high-tech CNC machine. Material selection hinges on 4 highly critical engineering factors. First up, tensile strength. Basically, how much heavy load can this thing take before it snaps? Second is fatigue strength. How many thousands of times can it bounce back before the metal just gets tired and eventually breaks? Third, corrosion resistance. Is the spring going to be sitting in water or harsh chemicals all day? And finally, operating temperature. Is this going into a freezing environment or it's sitting inside a blazing hot combustion engine? All of these chemistry choices have to be carefully weighed before a single coil is ever wound. All of this chemistry and engineering leads to a variety of material choices that map perfectly to real-world uses. Standard spring steel is fantastic for your everyday general mechanical springs. But if you need to step it up, high-carbon steel is there for heavy-duty applications. Need to fight off rust? Stainless steel is your go-to for sure. Engineers even use what's called music wire for tiny, super high strength needs. And for those truly extreme environments, like we mentioned, hot combustion engines, you have to rely on specialized heavy-hitting alloys, stuff like silicon chrome steel for high loads, or chrome vanadium steel for high temperature and high stress scenarios where failure simply isn't an option. So the physical process all kicks off right here, the exact moment the raw wire gets loaded onto the decoiler. But looking back at everything we've just covered, isn't it absolutely incredible just how much meticulous setup, deep engineering, and complex programming has to happen before a single simple spring is even made? The next time you click a ballpoint pen or start your car, take a brief moment to marvel at the hidden complexity behind one of the simplest everyday objects. It really makes you wonder, what other incredible manufacturing marvels are hiding right under our noses?